Hitting the gas pedal, learning the legendary intro riff to Highway to Hell by ACDC. This is the riff that opens up every epic road trip, every stadium show, and every moment you want to feel unstoppable. 3 power chords, 1 driving groove. Pure Angus and Malcolm magic. Let's ride. A quick gear shout out, I'm running my Boss Multi-Effects pedal today for that raw, punchy Angus tone, and if you want the same setup, the affiliate links are in the description. Thanks so much for keeping the channel rolling down the highway by clicking those. Alright, the tabs are about to be appearing on screen. We're tuned down 1/2 step for this one, and there's no capo. It's all built around the A, D, and G power chords, and I'll go through it nice and slow, and then we'll do play-alongs at slower speeds. So grab your guitar, put your foot on the pedal, here we go. Let's go over the chords we need first, and then we'll cover the rhythms. We're going to start it off with an A chord. You may be used to seeing it like this with 3 fingers in a row. But we're going to use just our index finger at the 2nd fret of the D string, G string, and B string. I'll bar that with 1 finger, and we'll also pick the 5th string for this chord. Alright, and then we'll need a D chord with F sharp in the bass. Your standard D chord looks like this, right? But we're going to have to change the fingering because we're getting rid of this note, the middle finger, and we're going to need to reach the F sharp up on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. So I'm going to use my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. I'm actually going to mute the A string, the 5th string, right under that with the middle finger, and then the 1st string here I'm going to mute that with my pinky. So we'll strum all 5 strings except for the 1st string here, the high E. Don't strum that one. And then to move to the G5 chord from here, we're going to hold this shape that we've got. We're going to lift the ring finger and slide the middle finger over to the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So let me show you that move again. Here we are at the F sharp, or D chord with F sharp in the bass, and we're going to slide over to this G5 chord, still muting the A string with that middle finger and still muting the high E string with this pinky. Moving into the chorus, we need 2 more chords, one of which is the E5 power chord, and it looks very similar to the A chord the way we're playing that there. We're just going to move that index finger up to the 5th string, and we're going to hold the bar there at the 5th string and 4th string, 2nd fret. And we're going to pick only the 4th, 5th, and 6th strings on this. Back to the A5, but our next chord we're going to need for the chorus is this D5 chord, and it looks just like a D chord here, but without the middle finger. So you'll need your index on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and we'll pick the open D string with that. Let's take a look at the rhythm now. In measure 1, we're going to be coming in with the A chord on the and of 3. So the count off would be 1 and 2 and 3. And do that A chord 3 times like that, down, down, down. Alright, then the and of 3 in the next measure, we'll come in with that D chord with F sharp in the bass 2 times, and then to the G chord once. And we'll do that again in the next measure, and again in the next measure, and then 1 time on the D chord, and 2 times on the A chord. Alright, let me walk you through that real quick. And that just repeats, cycling over and over through the verse. When we get to the end of the verse, we're going to use that E5 power chord, and we're going to use it for straight 8th notes for 2 measures. And so the count for me, the way I think about this, is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and chorus. All right, let me demonstrate that here. All right, let's have a play along of the verse riff at 70% of the gold tempo. Get your guitar ready and play along with me. Here we go. let's take a look at the chorus riff. As you saw there, I went to that A chord right away. We hit that open. Hit it one more time. Then to this D5 chord. Hit that 3 times total. To the open. Right there, we're going to do the open D, G, and B string. And back to the G5 chord. This time I'm going to use a simpler fingering, the more common fingering for a G5 chord. Middle finger on the 6th string of the 3rd fret. And you could use both of these on the bottom, or just continue to mute the first high E string there if you want. Either one would sound good for that. Back to the D5. To the A. That's basically repeating that section there. And that continues like that. Let's try the chorus riff at 70% of the gold tempo. Get your guitar ready. For the bridge section, we're going to be doing a standard D chord. That's the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and 2nd fret of the 1st string. And we'll be using the open D string when we strum that one. We're going to do that 3 times on the strum, then add your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string and strum that 3 times as well, and then lift it and strum once more. So it'll be slowly like this. We do that for 3 measures, and in the 3rd measure it ends up into the solo. So just watch how many times we're doing the pinky on that when it changed in that 3rd measure to doing only 1 D and then 3 with the D sus4 and back to 3 with D. Let's have a quick play along of this bridge section at 70% of the gold tempo. Let's go. If this lesson's firing you up, here's how you can keep my channel shredding every week. Hit subscribe and the bell for daily riffs. Join the brand new YouTube membership for early access to new lesson videos, exclusive monthly members only videos, behind the scenes, personalized feedback on short video submissions, priority song requests, 10% off courses and lessons, and more. Click join below. Grab my full guitar courses at kjzmusic.com or on Udemy. You can book private lessons or get gift cards for friends and family, snag some merch, and also super thanks or the affiliate links below are always appreciated. You guys make every riff possible. Thank you. Let's go over the solo now. This is a little bit more intermediate or advanced, some might say, so I'm going to go over this rather quickly. Follow along with the tabs. If you're ready for it, let's do this. Here we are on the 7th fret of the G string. I'm going to do a full step bend, and then into the 5th fret of the B and E string. Okay, I only do that once, and then after that we'll do the B string 2 picks. And then I'll grab the 7th fret on the G and B string with these 2 fingers here, the ring and pinky, bend and release. Or the 5th fret there of the G and B string at the end of that. So let me go over that slowly once again. Okay, we'll do a dead D string at the end of that, or a muted D string. Just kind of kill that. And the 7th fret to the 5th fret on the G string. This part's a little tricky here on the 4th fret of the D string. This is notated as a semi-artificial harmonic, so you want to pinch that with your thumb and pick slightly as you bend and release that note. And into the next measure there. This next part's a little tricky also. We're going to be at the 4th fret of the G string doing a bend, but you also have to hold the 5th fret on the E string and B string at the same time so you can pick those and then release the bend. So check this out. And notice I did a similar thing there when I went to the pinky and ring on the G and B string and bend that only the G string for a half step, so you kind of get that country steel tone, lap steel type of vibe. After that, in measure 71, we're at the 2nd fret of the G string, and slide from 0 to 2, which is like sliding from nowhere. Right, we should use our index finger for that though, because we're going to grab a 5 on the E string after that. Same kind of bend we just did. We're going to have both of these held at the 5th fret of the B and E string while grabbing that 4th fret bend. And jumping up to 14 on the G string and 18 and sliding down. Alright, we're going to rest for a full measure, and then in 74 we're going to go to the 15th fret here for full bend and some kind of pentatonic type of walk down here. Okay, walking down again on 15 to 15, 12, 13, 14 and 11, 14 and vibrato on the G string, and rest. Moving into measure 76, you'll see we're doing this double stop type of bend. We're going to do the 12th fret with the index finger on the E string, 13th fret with the middle finger of the B string, and you only push the B string. Keep that index finger planted as you push up 1/4 step. And rest. For this next measure, we're going to be at the 15th fret of the B string, and I'm going to use my middle finger because I got to be able to reach the 17th fret on the E string between that. But it's several bends on this, full and release and full, and it's kind of quick, so straight 8th notes. So take a look at this. We're going to do the first one as a 1/4 note bend and release, and a single, then bend twice to the 17th fret of the E string, bend again, and again. Alright, one more time, a little bit quicker. For this next measure, he does a long pick slide, and I don't want to mess up my pick too much, so I'll just demonstrate it lightly. But you would just put your pick sideways on the strings here and drag it down the strings a bit before going back to that double stop bend that I already showed you. He's doing that several more times now here. I'll do that again. In the next measure, 83. Basically the same lick, right now into 84. Again. And let's end it up with the same kind of lick here. Alright, this solo is a bit of a challenge, but let's take a run at it at 70% of the goal tempo. Get ready. in one of the greatest road trip riffs of all time. Play this loud enough and the neighbors will start singing along whether they like it or not. Quick vote though, Thunderstruck or You Shook Me All Night Long next from ACDC. Let me know in the comments. Next week we keep the rock engine roaring. Comment what you want to learn. Until then, keep the windows down, keep the volume up, and I'll see you in the next ride.